Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back, and before the video gets started, would you mind hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below, because it really helps with the interaction with the video, and then, hit that bell icon and subscribe as well if you're new here. I upload a ton of videos on a variety of content, as you'll see, but a lot of people were messaging me who were subscribed to me saying that they weren't seeing my videos in their subscription feed, and I'm just like, YouTube, why you gotta do this sort of thing to me? It always is this sort of thing. It's irritating. So any interaction helps the video out a lot, and I really do appreciate it, and then it'll help me get my sub numbers up again too as well, so thank you for that. But I also wanted to mention this before we go into this video today. So I had a little audio flub up with my microphone when recording. I was using my other microphone, but it came unplugged when we were recording this. So a lot of this stuff is picked up on the PC, and what we usually do is we overlap the audio. So there might be some points where it seems like I'm over talking on the anime trainer's part, but that's not it at all. It's just our things were just mixing up at that point, but it's still listenable. I listened to the entire thing. It's still very clear. You can understand it, but I just wanted to put that out there for people who were just had that sort of thing about them, oh, what's going on here? So I'm just giving the thing right now. I wanted to say it, but also we would have re-recorded it, but we were passionate, and then also we had to both go to work on separate days, and we couldn't record it. So just putting this out there. This is our unscripted talk, full force discussion. Hope you enjoy, and see you in the video. Booyah.
Really, folks? Really? Really? This is silly. I don't know what's wrong with this TikTok generation. Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back. And today we are going to be talking about a very topical debate, which me and Sensei do not understand why, because we just see it all over TikTok, where these people are doing those versus battles, and it's funny. It's really funny because okay, for people out there who don't know, I'm your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade, and this is the anime trainer, the GOAT, the OG, the one who started all the fitness training, the one who always starts anime fitness stuff, so always give respect to him. And I had to invite Sensei on because I keep seeing this over and over, and I've been asked this countless times. And so today we're going to be talking about All Might versus Yujiro Hanma. And of course, this should seem like a one-sided blowout, but hey, let's talk about this. You know what? Let's talk about this. So we're gonna do 3 different versions. But Sensei, what did you think of this? What do you think of this?
When I first heard it, I was like, I can't believe somebody's asking this question.
Right? I don't get it. It's so funny to me because it's just I don't understand it, but lo and behold, me and Sensei we're fully caught up on Baki. We've been reading Baki since a long time. Would you say over 20 years now?
Dude, I don't remember how long it is. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I remember I used to read Baki as a kid, so and I'm 30 now, so that's just a whole different thing right there. So we've been fans of Baki for a long time and are caught up on the manga, even that weird shit Yujiro's doing in the manga. But yeah, we wanted to talk on this because we're also fully caught up on My Hero Academia as well. And yeah, so how do you want to start this off? You want to talk about the strengths, the speed, the durability,
I think we'll get to that, but let's break it up into 3 different matchups just for the sake of argument, because Yujiro has whoever he is now, he's always getting stronger. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
that's the cool thing about him in Baki.
We'll take Yujiro as he is now, but All Might as he is now is All Might as he is now.
All Might as he is now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's still a goat. He's still a goat. But still,
you can't take nothing away from him. He did his work, but he is barely as strong as a normal human being now. So I think we should take it as current All Might versus Yujiro, and then we can talk about injured All Might, as we see maybe at the beginning of My Hero Academia versus All Might, and then we can talk about Prime All Might versus Yujiro.
Yeah, exactly. It's just Prime All Might. That'll be a fun one to talk about.
So we'll give the TikTokers a free win.
Yeah, we gotta be fair somewhat, because this is silly. Yeah.
Because versus Yujiro versus current All Might. I'm sorry.
It's a blowout.
It's a blowout.
It's a blowout. Again, poor All Might. It's again, he's such a great, strong person. He could turn into that muscle form for a second, but it's not comparable. It's really not. It's really like a grown man beating up an infant at that point. It's really just not fair. Everyone knows that.
So we'll give you that. He can beat All Might now. Yes. Or now All Might. So good job. You figured that one out.
You figured that one out, so good on you.
All right, so let's talk about injured All Might.
Yes, injured All Might. All right, so this is All Might at the very start of the, I guess, My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Or do you want to? Because he gradually got weaker, and he still fought All for One, but he was
yeah.
still strong.
So I mean, so just in general, injured All Might. I think we could probably talk about like the where he fights the Nomu for the first time.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, this. Well, that took me 100 punches, but in my prime, it would have taken me 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was 305.
305, yeah.
But yeah, so
okay, no. So the thing that I keep seeing from everyone on TikTok, because like they read a few scans and then they'll see like the whole thing about how Yujiro can sense weaknesses. For people who don't know, who aren't caught up on the manga, Yujiro Hanma has his ability to see like weaknesses in so many other people because he's just so advanced. He's so much stronger than everyone else. He can like see like, oh, this person's about to have a heart attack. This person is about to be sick. This person has this injury right here. It's a pre-existing injury. Think of like that scene where Azula was like looking at the girl playing volleyball. It was like her knee, it hesitates for quite a second. I bet a childhood injury hit her there. Yujiro is like that 24/7 with every single person. Like he just sees them and he's like, that person has an injury right there. So all the time, people just keep saying, oh, well, all he would do is just keep attacking that area on All Might, the weakened area.
Sure, let's grant that.
Yeah.
Let's grant that.
Yeah.
Using the Nomu fight as a reference point, what happened to All Might during that fight? Does anybody remember?
Yeah, does anyone remember? Hey, roll the clip. Play the clip. Yeah, there you go. Play a copyright-free clip so you see what happened. Okay.
He got his stabbed in the rib cage, basically in the same spot where he got hurt by the Nomu. Guess who still got his ass whipped? The Nomu.
Yeah, the Nomu. And it's just like again, like we talk about speed because I guess, Baki Hanma, the series premiere just like went on like freaking Netflix, the new series. I like what Netflix did there, where they called like the season Baki, because now I can't go back. Well, Baki on Netflix is season 3, technically is season 3, but it's like they have Baki and Baki Hanma because they're doing like what the manga did, where it's like, oh yeah, let's call this Son of Ogre this.
Yeah, I guess they had to call it Son of Ogre. Well, they had to call it Baki Hanma because like people were like, "What's Son of Ogre?" They wouldn't watch. They wouldn't watch
exactly.
that.
It's just like, whoa, what's Son of Ogre? Yeah, it's funny, but what's hilarious about this is like because of that, so many people are starting to be like, oh, well, you see how fast Baki was moving in those things, and Yujiro's way faster than that. And of course, I've got to bring it up, even though we talk about this all the time, that this feat doesn't count as much later on, the earthquake feat. So Yujiro Hanma hits with the earthquake feat. But the thing is, again, talking from two people who read the manga fully caught up, reread the manga we both reread that manga like numerous times just because we love the series.
Rewatched the series multiple times.
Multiple times. That earthquake feat that everyone brings up, he only does it like once. And like the way it kind of plays off is like, oh, I kind of guessed the earthquake was here and I hit the ground and I knew when it was going to end. It just cuts off like that.
Narratively, it's great, but it's not consistent with the rest of his feats. At
really
all.
Not.
Like with any of his feats, when you see his maximum power displayed, it's not anywhere near the force that would take to stop an earthquake. When he's fighting Kakukayo and he uses his maximum power and it makes that giant crater, not the same amount of force that it would take to stop an earthquake. So it's an outlier feat, and anytime you have outlier feats, because I also cut off the bottom end of that where he got shot with the tranquilizers, and I cut that off. I don't count that one because it's really low and the other one's really high. So I just take the ones that are in the middle. The thing with All Might is all his feats are consistent. They're all in that, like, there's nothing that you look at and go, well, that's not normal. It's like, no, that's basically All Might all the time.
Right, exactly. Like that's All Might like all the time. And then like even there's that feat where like Yujiro stomps so loud and then the building, like, because remember he was like in that skyscraper and he stomped loud and it like makes it sound loud enough for the building. It's not like he knocked down the skyscraper or something.
Yeah, like I mean that's honestly a consistent feat for him based on the amount of power he was able to put out in the Raitai tournament. That's a perfectly consistent feat.
Right, exactly. It's like consistently. And another thing with like the fight here is like, okay, so Yujiro, all right, of course Yujiro is a better martial artist than All Might. Like
I
that's
will grant that 100%.
Yeah, that is not a contest whatsoever. Like All Might is more like a blast through you. Just I'm like more powerful and stuff like that. But again, it's just that whole thing. Like, as a matter of fact, there's a great quote from Superman for this very topic that I love to bring up, because like Superman has this quote where this random person came to attack Superman. And he was like, Superman was just vibing, enjoying the day off, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna enjoy this day. And then this villain shows up and he's like, hi, I made this suit to hurt even you. And then Superman like has this great speech about like, so people always like make things to hurt me. They're missing the point when they try to design these things. The thing is, I can be hurt. It's not that hard. Like I can tell you several ways to hurt me. The problem is not hurting me. The problem is surviving me. Because it's just like, okay, if you freaking hit me, it's like, okay, you could hurt me. I'm still here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still here. What you gotta do? Like,
You got
it's
to
just
deal
like,
with the aftermath of the fact that you just hurt me.
yeah, exactly. It's like tanking an attack is more than laying an attack out. It's just like, okay, yeah, I tanked it. And the fact that All Might could like pretty much like one-shot Yujiro into space was just like a thing. And it's just like, Yujiro, at the end of the day, he is a beast. He is a monster. He has all this stuff. He's still human. He's
Yeah.
still like,
Like you see during the fight with the first Nomu, when he hits that final attack with that big like straight shot, and he launches the Nomu like into the air, like way really far, like on a thing that probably that Nomu based on what he looks like probably weighed like 600 pounds.
yeah, probably 600 pounds.
Just based
like
on how big he was.
Yeah,
Not-
like look at this right here, chat. Like look at it. It's just big. Like dude.
Not only weighed 600 pounds, but had a quirk that was specifically designed to cancel out force when you got hit, and
Exactly.
he still launched it that far. That is an insane amount of power, and
Right.
I don't know that I've ever seen Yujiro hit that hard.
He has, I mean, honestly, like, again, like, Yujiro is the top dog in his series, but then, like, you know, he fought Baki, and they had that thing, like, again, it just makes me wish that Baki sort of just, like, ended that little era, because it was such a solid ending, and now they're doing weird stuff with him breaking in people's homes, even though it's used to his character, but it's weird, like, you know, stuff like that, but like, again, it's not anything comparable. Like, the characters in Baki are super strong, but they're not like, I can level a city with a punch strong. Like, they're not like, I can fucking uppercut you into, like, outer space strong. Like, they can do things which are, like, consistent. Like, for instance, the Statue of Liberty, all right? Like, he can just, like, you punch the Statue of Liberty and crack it or do stuff like that. Like, of course, like, for Baki characters, that makes sense. But if a Baki character hit the Statue of Liberty and the entire thing shot in one punch and it was like, oh, God, it's, like, exploded, that's some, like, All Might.
That's a different level. That's a different level. Because what would happen if All Might hit the Statue of Liberty?
It's blowing up.
It wouldn't be there. It would be
Exactly.
gone.
It's not comparable. It's really not comparable, and I don't get the concept. Again, I think it's just that hype brain, you know, overtakes people. Just like, oh, I believe the character. He's such an alpha, whatever. And it's just,
Or-
did you? Oh God.
Maybe it's a statement thing. Maybe it's a statement thing, because they say he's the strongest creature, and they take that as some sort of like it doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
he's the strongest in the Baki universe. Like, you can't take a statement like that from one universe and apply it across all universes. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, so Yujiro is the strongest creature. Oh, would you like to meet Son Goku? Would you like to meet my friend Saitama? Would you like to meet freaking this lovely old blonde girl right here who has these super moon powers? Like, it's not comparable.
Yeah,
Like, it's really not, especially when you see it. And oh God, it's hilarious. It's really funny that
You know,
people
in
will
the-
try to.
I think in terms of like all anime universes, Yujiro's a big fish in a little pond.
Exactly. That's really what it is. It really what it is. Because, like, it's, you know, a better fight would be something like, well, probably not a better fight now because he's busted. But, like if you wanted to do something like Luffy versus All Might, and, like, Luffy's, like, way stronger, like, he'd probably just decimate All Might, to be honest. I'm probably just saying because, especially now in One Piece manga, they've done stuff with characters. So, again, that'll probably be a video for another time. Let us know in the
Power
comments.
creep is a bitch.
Yeah, power creep is a bitch. But yeah, like, again, All Might, even with that injury, it's still not
Now,
not a
yeah. So like, I grant that Yujiro will focus on that injury. He'll maybe lay into it, maybe All Might gives him a couple of shots because, like, you know, he maybe doesn't take him seriously. This is a normal, non-quirked person. I'm not going to, you know, whatever. And then he realizes, okay, maybe this guy can hit, because you know, he might put him on his knee for a second.
Exactly.
If he hit him in that, but once he realizes, okay, maybe this guy is, you know, not normal.
Right.
It's game over.
Nope.
Exactly.
So maybe like 5% of the time Yujiro wins against injured All Might because he lets his guard down and he gets, you know, wrecked.
Right.
Maybe but if at any point he's serious, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's over. It's like over. It's just like, again, like he doesn't even have to use United States to smash. Like,
No.
You see how much devastating power is behind United States to smash.
First episode. First episode.
Clear sky.
Yeah. And it creates a freaking whirlwind.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, he does like some Saitama versus Sea King shit where Saitama's just like kills
In the
him.
first episode.
Exactly. It's just like the level of power. I think it's just like, wow, I saw Yujiro kill a big ass elephant. It's the same thing. It's like, no, it's really not. It's really not.
Let's think about the giant robot that Deku destroyed in the entrance exam.
Right.
You
see it?
Can
You see,
Yujiro
like,
one shot? Can Yujiro one shot that?
Right.
No.
No.
He definitely cannot.
No. It's that whole thing where I think it is, we've talked about this before, where it's just like, I like a character so much and I think they're so badass, and because I like them more, I think they win, but it's just, it doesn't make sense, because it's just like, I love Hiei from freaking Yu Yu Hakusho way more than I like Vegeta, but Vegeta would decimate Hiei like every single time. It's not a competition. It's just like, I can tell you that, like, I don't have that obstinate bias from, like, you know, that fanboyism or fangirlism. It's just a fact of the matter of what they've clearly shown.
We all know that Super Saiyan 2 would completely destroy Kaba because of just the rawness. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan.
Super Saiyan 2 Gohan during that saga, like Gohan during the Cell Game saga, would completely body Kaba. Why? Because he's got badass power, and badass levels your plot armor to a level, and it's just like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. You want to talk about Gohan now versus Kaba, that's a different story, but if you want to talk about Gohan then versus no, it doesn't make sense. It's not.
Yeah, so no amount of badass power is bringing Yujiro out of that.
Right.
I'm sorry. And All Might's not going to put up with somebody who he deems to be, you know, a threat to other people, because Yujiro doesn't care.
Yeah, Yujiro doesn't care. He's more mellow now, but he still doesn't care. Like, it's just, but
he's still going to do whatever he wants to do, and if somebody tries to stop him, he's going to wreck him.
Exactly. That's
and
what
as
he
soon
does.
as All Might recognizes, okay, he's that kind of person, oh, I got to put you down.
Right? Like, because I remember I was seeing people, again, like, people were saying, like, oh, Yujiro Hanma solos the verse. And they were serious. Like, I thought they were trolling in a way where it's just like, oh, this is a meme video. And I was like, thought it was funny. But then they did, like, response videos, like, no, let me give you the scaling. Because this is what would happen if All Might, like, if Yujiro was there, he would just completely body. And it's just like, okay, I'm not going to lie. He'd say he wouldn't body a lot of characters. But if you're saying he solos a verse, when you have characters like Shigaraki, where the second he touches him, it's like, it's over.
When
Like,
you
it's
have,
just like,
like,
it doesn't matter, man.
Basic, like, just BS powers that don't care about how strong you are.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, okay. I freaking hit freaking, I forgot his name. What's the one with the beak? Magneta.
Oh, Overhaul.
Overhaul. Yeah, there we go. Overhaul. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, okay, you hit Overhaul. The second you touch his skin, boom.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter, because and then he puts you back together and you're like, dude, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, there are just certain powers like that. It doesn't matter how physically strong you are. Like, even if you're like, oh, I could sense this in the way, like, yes, we will give Yujiro this. He is very fast at reacting. He has incredibly fast speed. He has incredibly fast this, but it's not comparable to, like, what we've seen from consistently from characters like All Might or the characters like that. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if Deku versus Todoroki, when the amount of force that happened in that ring, ain't no Baki character ever had to deal with something like that.
Exactly. And again, this is coming from people who've read the manga fully, who are fully caught up on the manga and have been reading the manga consistently for 20 plus years. All right? This is not like, oh, two random guys like, yo, we watched the Netflix Baki. Let's just talk about this.
I watched all the fight scenes on YouTube. I think I know a thing or two.
I watched all the fight scenes on YouTube. Like, no, like, we have proof, like, it's not comparable. It's really not. It's honestly not comparable. And it's silly. And then, like, you know, Prime All Might, again, like, if Prime All Might...
Yeah, let's talk about Prime All Might. Let's talk about how terrible this would go.
Yeah, exactly. Prime All Might is just bodying the... It's not even a competition at the point. Like, literally, you remember that scene from X-Men Days of Future Past with Quicksilver? If I could save time, like, that's how fast it would be. Like, he would be moving so much faster than Yujiro. It's not comparable, just if, like, from what he has shown. Like, from what he has shown. Like, it's
so
just,
the Two Heroes movie, first scene where teenage All Might shows up.
Not Prime, teenage.
And he decks that dude, like, and hits them through, like, a whole city, like down the street, the whole, like, 5 or 6 blocks.
Right.
What?
It's
and that man can jump over buildings.
Exactly. And it's just like in Baki, because I know someone will bring up, well, in Baki they could jump over buildings. Baki, they have higher than average, like, they're pretty much superhuman in Baki.
But nobody jumps over a skyscraper.
Yeah, they're not, like, if Yujiro Hanma just stood in front of a skyscraper and jumped, he's not jumping over. As much as he has that mental strength, he would, like, have to climb and do all that stuff. He could climb it easily, but he ain't doing that. And
he might be able to jump like 20 floors or something like that.
Exactly.
Cool. Exactly. He can do that, but he's not leaping over a skyscraper. It's not and All Might could casually do that.
Yes. Like you see when in the first episode of My Hero Academia, Weekend All Might, he's like, I'm jumping. I'm just gonna hit here, and I'm gonna jump like all across the city. Like, I'm just gonna jump here, and then that's what Deku was holding onto his back. He was just like, oh god, like, he's holding onto my back. Oh, just like, yeah, it's absolutely insane. Ugh.
And the even in, like you said, with speed, even like at the last fight of the Two Heroes movie, when he's running, like, when, you know, zipping around, he's zipping around like you can't see him,
right?
Like, and not just like close quarters, can't see him in long distances.
Exactly.
He's moving fast.
Yes, just blitzing, just it's like it's the speed thing again. It's that thing for people watching this channel. Look, I love my subscribers. Like, thank you for how much we've gotten today, like, with all this stuff. But like,
are you 500K yet?
I think I'm almost there. I think like by the time this video uploads, I'll be at 500K. Nice. So again, honor, thank you all so much. But again, like, it's one of those things, like, I hope y'all, like, can realize that whole thing of just like, oh, well, I like this character more. That's made me level this character up in my mind versus, like, the facts of what this character can do. Because again, we're having fun with this conversation. We're not like, I can't believe that people will think, oh, my, loses, you know, stuff like that. We're just like, it's just one of those situations where it's like, no. Like, it's silly. It's like, you know, like,
honestly, it's that same thing that we said at the beginning. I don't even know how this got started.
Yeah, I think what happened was someone made a video and they were like, yeah, this is pretty much what would happen. You know, something like that. And then, like, you know, like, there's a ton of those ones. Like, it's like in Yujiro Solo Spider-Man, Yujiro Solo's like freaking super, you know, like all these people, and it's just
and maybe it's just the nature of TikTok, because it's such a short thing, and like there's almost no way to, like, counter things or give logical arguments, because you have like 60 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how, you know, your individual account works. But but like, people just say things.
They just say things.
They just say things.
Stuff like that. No, because, like, again, this was one of those situations where, again, I thought it was like a meme. And I was just like, yeah, okay, this is a funny meme, all right? Like, I'm not taking this like this. But then, like, I, like, saw it, and then someone was, like, actively giving, like, the stats of why he would do it, like, seriously.
What was the argument?
they were saying like, okay, well, Yujiro moves as fast, hits with the power of an earthquake, can do this, is like soloed all these nukes and bombs because the America tried to like bomb and do all this stuff, and they were taking feats from his dad and compiling them onto him, and they were like, okay, and so his martial arts ability would allow him to counter this. He's killed monsters like this, and I'm just like, but again, there's a level of power that you're just not gonna outskill there. Like, it's just like,
and the reason the bombs
good...
don't work, the reason they can't nuke him is because he's in cities with people.
Exactly.
That's why that doesn't work.
Exactly. It's just like, you can't nuke a guy. It's like literally, if Yujiro sat there and just was like, okay, whatever, like, boom. Because I think they'll also take that lightning feat. You remember when he got struck by lightning and he was just like, I'm fine and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's just, it's again,
maybe his body is just really, like, you know, good with electricity conductivity, because there's people that are like that. They can, like, not get electrocuted.
Look at this person.
That's
right
a
here.
real thing.
Yeah, there are people who've been zapped by lightning. They get this really cool tattoo. It's like they got tatted by God because they got this like freaking leaf thing on them. And yeah, that's a real thing. But like dropping an entire nuke, it's not like he would freaking tank it like freaking Vegeta.
A bolt of lightning versus a nuclear weapon, that's not the same.
It's really not. It's really not. Like, I think it's, again, it's one of those situations where people, they hear the feats, or they hear people talk about him so much. Like, Yujiro Hanma is one of the most dangerous creatures on, because you hear like have Obama and Trump and all them people, like the presidents are actually in the manga, they're talking about him, and it's just like, yeah, they're talking about him this way, but that's not what would happen, like, realistically, if you hit him with a nuke. Like, that's just not it. Like, it's not, like, this is not there. Like, you can read the entire manga for yourself. Like, there you go. Oh, damn.
And I think that, you know, talking about when they make statements like that, they take it as some kind of, like, ontological statement. Like, this is the very nature of their being, is to be indestructible. And it's like, that's not what that means.
No. I agree so much, because like I did this Michael Myers versus Jason video. I've done like 3 of them so far, and one of the biggest things I keep seeing for people saying Michael will win, even though Jason has tanked everything Michael has done casually, is that Michael has never died once. Jason has died twice, so that means that because he hasn't died, he would win. And it's just like, so by that logic, you're telling me that Luffy, who has never died once, is stronger than Goku, who has died multiple times. Yeah, like,
absolutely.
Doesn't make sense. It's
you know
like,
what? I'm sold.
It's just, I don't get it.
The logic is flawless.
Yeah, it's flawless. But yeah, that was a fun video. I'm glad we got to talk on it. We won't keep it too long. We just wanted to do this because I kept seeing this over, and I was like, me and Sensei got to talk on this. Be sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe. Tell us if you wanted us to do more of these, because we love doing these. We love talking about these sort of things. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, and like, you leave a comment down below if you made it this far. Type in All Might slaps. All right, if you made it this far in the video, just type in All Might slaps, just because like it lets me know who got that far, stuff like that. And again, like, you know, let us know your thoughts on this. Let us know your personal thoughts down in the description. Let's get discussion going, and we'll talk on it. But yeah, again, if you need anything from me, thank you all for 500,000 subscribers. And again, Sensei, if you have anything to promote or say like that, because he's prepping for a bodybuilding show, so he's looking extra swole. So yeah, I'm currently in the middle of a cut, so that sucks. Cutting sucks forever. Still goes sideways through doors. I've taken a little break on some of the stuff from my channel. I'm about to do a couple of videos here soon, but I've just kind of like been trying to focus on some other things. But I am going to be doing some videos here shortly. I'm going to do the second video for What If Bulma Was Iron Man. Nice. Check that out, y'all. But so yeah, come check that out, and maybe we'll talk about some more bodybuilding stuff too. Definitely. Like, you'll learn a lot from that channel. So much information is there. But again, thank you all for coming to this video that didn't need to be a video, but we wanted to talk about it just because I kept saying it everywhere and people asked me about it. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget Momentai, and then take them out, Sensei. All right, guys. Until next time, good luck and train hard. Yeah.